Welcome to House of Our Man, Sunday Conversations with your host, Los Live. This is our Father's Day edition. We've been honored with a special live interview from poet, blogger, activist, J-Rap Brown. We'll take a look at one of his featured performances, and then we'll get into our Sunday conversation with activist, poet, and blogger J-Rap Brown.
Peace. But here I go. The government lies to us. But if you're wise enough to look inside the book, you can find the truth they hide from us. See, the obvious is often overlooked when you live life with your eyes wide shut. That's why you can spend your entire life in church and never recognize the science in a Bible verse. See, God's Son has been returning every morning, but you still waiting for Christ to come. See, you miseducated and uninformed because you get your information from Viacom, but if you knew like I do, you'd be growing food and buying guns. It's plots being carried out against us you got no knowledge of. Take for instance, Rex 84, authored by Oliver North, engineered to neutralize us all, or MK Ultra. That's government-sponsored mind control. Right now, the NSA is spying on your private cars, and I bet you didn't know that white folks called it Operation White Coat when they gave syphilis to Mrs. Evers' boys. They monitored the sickness, but never gave them medicine to get better from it. They murdered us for research purposes, and we ain't even know it. And at this very moment, Planned Parenthood is harvesting embryonic organs and holding black market auctions where they exchange dollars for our aborted babies' body parts.
Hey, what you say?
Yeah, their agenda is pro-choice because every abortion brings us closer to total destruction and they want us all destroyed. So this is my point. The system isn't corrupt, it's killing us, is what they designed it for. That's why they lock us up for selling drugs that they supply to us. Because the war on drugs is the war on us, whether you realize or not. They've already sized us up. They trying to wipe us out before we start rising up because they know we gonna take by force the rights that they deprived us of. But this ain't the type of war that can be won by firearms alone. Our ability to adapt and overcome determines if we survive or not. Just open your eyes and watch. They sell us death disguised as fun and we buy it up. Smoking our lungs, drinking our cup, turned down for what? Some of us indulge in prescription drugs, sip lean, pop Xanny bars. We live by the gun so we dying young and leave our mothers to cover the funeral costs because nobody makes songs about life insurance. Right. We spend our money foolishly on jewelry and designer clothes. We put giant rims on foreign cars before we buy our homes. We don't know about work. So we exchange our souls for Christian Louboutins. We label wars, going broke, to show the world that we ain't poor. So get niggas Michael Jordans and get the women Michael Kors. We support them, they don't support us. I guess these hoes ain't look. But that's how it is when you conform to a system you should have overthrown. So if all you want is a pension to retire on, you need to revise your goals because expecting your enemies to hire us is ignorance in its highest form. Financial independence is what your survival relies upon. So most of y'all yelling I'm a boss need to stop. Because it's a big difference from supplying work and providing jobs. You stunting should never be so important that you cause your brother to starve, and I get your point. Because I've heard it all before. In this cold world, it's dog eat dog, but let me tell you 3 things I know. Even dogs protect their own. Even a savage raised its young, and every baller has a date in court, so how long can you dodge the laws long gone? Have you given any thought to how you support your family from behind that wall? You know being man of the house is a burden that should be yours, but you willing to risk it all to leave your baby moms alone to raise your son? Even though turning a boy to a man is his daddy's job, and what about your baby girl? Who gonna hold her down if daddy gone? Like, would I be wrong if I took advantage of your broken home? Turned your daughter to an addict, gave your son a package to pump with. You be cool with your 2 kids going through the same things that you did. You see what this is doing? Am I getting through here? Is it hitting home? Because before you was a savage thug, you was your mama's baby boy. So before you raise that gun in the direction of someone with a complexion a lot like yours, do you ever question what happens to the family that you're going to take him from? I got questions I need answers for. What good is it to gain the world and lose your soul? Black man, do Black Lives Matter? Or just your own? All right.
Okay, on today's special Father's Day episode, of Sunday's Conversation. We've been honored with a call-in video guest for the first time. This is the first time on Sunday Conversations that we're going to have a live guest. We've just got done watching a brilliant poem, very moving, a lot of key points to that poem. So we're going to switch over right now to J. Rap Brown. Welcome, J. Rap Brown, to Sunday Conversations.
Peace, brother. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. For the folks that don't know you, give us just a little bit of background about yourself.
Basically, I'm a spoken word artist. Try to be active in the community and just promote Black power, Black unity, you know.
Okay, and the video we just watched, that was one of your first performances, correct?
Yeah, that video I was actually opening up for my man, Brick the Foundation. He conscious hip hop artist, about to drop a new album next month, matter of fact, called The Foot of Brick. And I actually linked up with him. He's from Flint. He was living here in Toledo. He was taking some water up his Flint. I hit him up, joined in with that, you know, carried some water up his Flint a few times actually. And during that, I let him hear a couple of poems, and after that, the ball kind of got rolling. He invited me to open up for him, you know, and that was like one of my first performances, like in front of a live crowd.
Okay.
That was at 90 Hips Cafe in Detroit.
Awesome, good deal. Well, I'm gonna tell you, you're definitely talented, brother, and I can definitely see where your talent is gonna open up many doors for you and make a way for you, because I definitely know for me, just being able to observe and see on social media some of what you're doing. I've listened to a couple of your poems, and I was like, this brother is so powerful. His poems are so powerful. There's so much substance and content dealing with a variety of things that the Black community, the African diaspora worldwide are currently facing. So wanted to get into your poem with you. A couple of things that really struck me. Wanted to talk with you a little bit about the topic of unity amongst our people, amongst Black people. And you kind of started off and you talked about how the government has lied to us. And can you just expound a little bit on that and how that has impacted our ability now to come together as a unified organization or a unified community?
Well, we as Black people in diaspora, especially here in America, like have to have a healthy mistrust for the government. The government has never been for us, you know. So of course they're going to lie to us, and those lies keep us from empowering ourselves. You know, I think we've been trying to assimilate instead of trying to empower ourselves and build our own nation.
Okay, and I can definitely understand that, because I spend a lot of time wanting to network, because our goal here at House of Amen is definitely to build unity despite any beliefs, despite any of those things that a lot of times we get tripped up on, and we try to focus on being Black first. And one of the things I know, and you touched on this in your poem as well, about how we get caught up in religion and how religion can be divisive and stop us from having a Black first mentality.
Yeah, I came into consciousness by coming out of Christianity. Like, you know, once I was able to shed that, it, like, you know, the doors were wide open, and I was angry, and I think we all are angry in learning that what we believed and held so dear to not be true, or for us to find it to not be true, you know. And I think a lot of us focus too much of our energy on tearing down, you know, institutions that we were once a part of, like the church, for instance. And that can always be divisive, because especially with us here in America, you know, religion is such a big part of our lives. you know, and it always has been since, you know, since enslavement. And trying to, it's just hard to go to a person and tell them, like, yeah, your religion fake, and you stupid for believing it, because this religion was passed down from his grandparents and their grandparents, and it's a sense of mental value to it. So I used to be one of those guys, man. I devoted a lot of my time to tearing down Christians and Christianity, but as I learned more and I grew and evolved, I just adopted a kind of a take the beat, leave the bones mentality, you know, kind of a live and let live mentality. So with me, like, I don't care what you are. You can be Buddhist, Christian, whatever faith you choose to follow, let's find some common ground and build on that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you want to praise Jesus, you worship Muhammad, you might not worship anybody, but let's grow this food together. Like, that shouldn't stop us from building. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, because I love that line in your poem. You went from, you talked about we should be focusing on growing food and buying guns, right? So, and we're definitely an advocate of that.
Yeah, growing food is most important, because there's not a lot of black grocery stores, you know, and it's hard for us to try to, you know, talk revolution and empower ourselves when we can't even feed ourselves or defend ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I was in the Army, and I served in Iraq, and I've been in Afghanistan, and I spent 3 years in Afghanistan. So, like, I know about that aspect, and, like, you gotta have balance. You gotta be able to sustain and defend. You know, you gotta be able to build what you need, you know, food, shelter, clothing, and then you have to be able to defend that. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, food and guns go hand in hand. Like the Panthers had a motto of guns and butter. You know, guns for the men, butter for the baby.
Awesome.
So that's kind of my mindset.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, we agree totally, wholeheartedly. We go out and we do a lot of community preparedness events in conjunction with the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, and you know, when you think about that and you think, let's say a situation like Katrina happens, right? And from that situation, we already know that we're out there on our own. Nobody came for us when Katrina happened. Nobody was helping us, right? So we're on our own. So even if you're able to now, let's say you're able to get you a food stash, or you've had food and you prepared for that, you have to be ready to protect that food stash, right? Because now everybody around you, food is a premium, and they're looking for that. So being able to protect that food is going to be the optimum, right? So one of the other things we wanted to get into, I know in your poem you talk quite a bit about financial empowerment and young people, instead of looking necessarily just to get a job, but about us starting our own businesses, because if we don't own businesses where we can employ our own people, then our people are going to always be at the top of the unemployment list, right? Because everybody's going to look out for their own people first, right? Can you share some more on that?
And that's the thing I was saying earlier. Like, we so desperate to assimilate. You know, we want to work our way into the dominant culture, which is, you know, pretty much white nationalism, and we want to be a part of what they have going instead of building our own. And that's the difference between us and other minorities. Like, you know, like Arabs don't have that issue. The Koreans, Chinese, Vietnam, like they don't have that issue. Mexicans don't have that issue. You know, because there's no unity. Like, we have to have unity. Like, it's the only way. And even if you work for a white company, that's not to say that you can't be united. You can still bring those dollars back to our community, you know, and And we got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely. Immigrants do it all the time, right?
Because we live in these
The immigrants do it all the time. They come, they get the American dollars and send it back home.
And they send it back home. Exactly. And that's another thing we need to do. We need to reach out to African nations that's willing to help us. Like we so disconnected. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. So I'm in there's different skills that I feel is important. Number one is how to grow food, how to make common household repairs, you know, change tires, that type of thing, and eventually up into weapons training. Of course, you know, we gonna hit the books, teach them some real Black history beyond Martin. I mean, nothing against Malcolm Martin, but I get so much, and just try to lay the groundwork. You know what I'm saying? And I think that once people, it's a bag, not just somebody trying to get some likes on Facebook, and they can feel that it's real, like they gonna want to be a part of it, and that's how we grow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the process of that right now. I'm trying to get some money together, but I don't really want to ask the people for money right now. So I'm in the process of trying to get that generated. But I think that's where we need to start. We need to start in our own communities, with our own neighbors and whatnot. And I think that nature will run its course. You know what I'm saying? But somebody got to take that first step. You just got to spread love, and love will come back.
Absolutely, absolutely, brother. Well, we're not gonna take up too much of your time. Definitely appreciate you taking the time to share with us, to be our first live interview. Very talented brother. Definitely hope to be able to spotlight you more often, connect with you on the blog side, and maybe even for the houseofaman.org for the website, maybe get some blogs going there. Definitely look forward to working with you, seeing what we can do as well to sow into what you have going on.
Also for booking, contact my management at boldcreativesolutions@gmail.com. Just take it from there. I look forward to working with you again, bro. We can definitely connect on the blog and maybe some type of community organizing, make that connection.
Awesome, brother. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, bro. Nice speaking with you.
Join us next week on House of a Man Sunday Conversation as we look deeper into causality of inappropriate behaviors and Stockholm Syndrome. Thank you for watching House of a Man Sunday Conversation.